Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NCAA 2004. We're here. We are back. Basically, probably the most important game of the series up to this point. Probably said that a couple times, and there's a few games you can point to and make that argument. But I'm going to make it with this one today here, because we're going up against the number 10 ranked Tennessee Volunteers, man. And this is our rivalry game. It's one of the biggest games every year for us. But this one has a lot of stakes since Tennessee. We're currently going into this game with a 22-game win streak. We're heading to Neyland with a 22-game win streak, and Tennessee ranked number 10, which is the highest Tennessee has been ranked ever in our matchups against the Volunteers in this series. It's the highest Tennessee's ever been ranked, so the SEC really kind of putting some of its best feet forward here. Tennessee coming off another 9-win season. They, of course, went 9-6 last season, courtesy of us, because we've beaten them twice in the year. In the last 2 years, we've beaten Tennessee twice a year. Once, of course, in the regular season, then, of course, in the SEC Championship, which we've won twice from Tennessee. But Tennessee does have one. They did, in fact, win the SEC in year 3. So they've made it 3 straight years, and they're looking to make it 4, and beating us today would certainly help them do that. So they have some new faces on the roster. They have a lot of turnover. Man, this receiving core, when I went to go write down the roster names, this receiving core is really depleted for Tennessee, man. They don't have a single guy on that receiving core over an 78 overall. It's their highest receiver, but they still do have a good quarterback. They have a good running back, a good fullback too, man. The rest of the roster is pretty decent here. So this is still Tennessee, man. This is still a rivalry game here. We're on the road here in Neyland. We're not going to get any help at all from the Tennessee faithful here, so we need to lock in here. And now on offense here, Tim Lewis is going to try and run the option here, and he tries to flip that one out late. That was a very late pitch. Lamont Farrell had absolutely zero hope of even getting anywhere close to that ball, and Tennessee's going to have get possession here early in this game off a really brutal turnover from Tim Lewis. So 1st and 10 for Tennessee here, and Whitaker, their quarterback, is going to go down here as Woods, our defensive tackle. Sorry if you hear my paper. I have my notes over here to the side as I record. So, but Woods is going to get to Whitaker, the quarterback here. On 2nd and 16, Whitaker drops back here, lays this one out here, deep shot downfield, and it is caught, and then off to the races is a Tennessee receiver, but he's going to get caught up here and brought down by one of our DBs here, by Kenneth Jenkins. I still haven't remembered Kenneth Jenkins. I'm not used to seeing, a 5 over there. I'm used to seeing Cecil Randolph on that side here, but Tennessee gets a huge one here from Lamar McConnell, a huge reception from their junior. So 1st and goal here, and Whitaker's going to hand this one off to the running back. He's going to get into the end zone, but he's going to fumble it on the dive. A lineman falls on top of it in the end zone, so that should be a touchdown, but there's a flag on the field, and the reason that there is a flag on the field is because there's a hold. So a very theatrical play here, but it's all going to basically amount to nothing, as that play is going to get wiped off the board as Matt Johnson, Tennessee's running back, fumbled the ball trying to dive into the end zone. That's the risk you take when you dive for the goal line here. But so now cut to a 3rd and goal as we've kind of stalled Tennessee's offense here after that holding call. And Whitaker takes one more shot towards the end zone. And our strong safety, Nat Hoover, gets his hands on the ball here and is able to break that pass up here. Still a chance, but couldn't quite get to the receiver. So Tennessee's going to bring out their kicking unit on 4th and goal to knock home this chip shot, and it is good. So after the Tim Lewis mind-numbing bad fumble, Tennessee's only going to turn that into 3 points here in the first quarter. So late in the first quarter, Tennessee again with the ball as their offense, struggling to get going here early in the game here. And on 3rd and 6, Whitaker, deep shot downfield along the sidelines, and it's caught here as Rick Sloan tried to make a heroic play on the ball, completely mistimed it and jumped out of bounds. And that one is a huge touchdown reception for the Volunteers. As let's see if we can get a closer look at what receiver this was here. But Whitaker takes a shot downfield, just inches away. Rick Sloan could not get a hand on the ball here. I'm going to guess that might have been Arnold Smith, who was on the team last year for the Volunteers. One of the only returning faces that we've seen on this team this year. So late in the first quarter here, 47 seconds left to go. Tim Lewis close to midfield here. And did you guys see that cornerback? Did you see that? You'd see him just like teleport in front of the football. I have no idea how that happened, but it's going to be another Tim Lewis turnover here late in the quarter. As Tim Lewis tried to go for his check down, and there was a DB completely watching that play from the very beginning. So Tennessee with good field position, you're heading the other way, but on 1st down, I believe, that ball from Whitaker is completely sailed out of the back of the end zone, and there's a flag on the field, and it's going to be PI on the Crimson Tide. So that is going to put Tennessee inside the red zone, and not just the red zone, but inside the 10 here, and give them goal to go, man. A fresh set of downs here with 36 seconds left in the first quarter. Whitaker's going to hand this one off to the fullback, Shelton Davis, and he's going to bob and weave and shuck his way into the end zone. He completely shook off all the pressure that was in his way, man. I've never seen a fullback move that well. And geez, dude, it's so hard to see their numbers. Good lord, it's impossible to see their numbers with those bright orange jerseys, man. They almost look like those like penny tees or penny jerseys, you know, that you'd wear in like gym class. That's how bright they are. It's like blinding. But after one quarter of play, guys, we are down 3 possessions. After one quarter of play, we are down 17-0. Thanks to a couple boneheaded mistakes from Tim Lewis here. Tennessee continuing with the ball here in the second quarter. Whitaker have to run away on 3rd and 5. A huge deep shot downfield and in triple coverage. That ball is somehow caught, man. I have no idea how that ball found the hands of a Tennessee receiver, but it was Arnold Smith who was able to come down with it. So another 3rd down here. Whitaker going to try and throw for the sticks, and it is incomplete. That time it kind of looked like a car crash, the way bodies just kind of came together at that moment there. But no one was able to come down with it. So Tennessee going to bring out special teams once again on a 4th and 9 here. A bit of a longer try for the kicker, but he is just as good. So Tennessee extends their lead now up to 20 points. Man, 20 unanswered from the Volunteers to start this game, and we've just been completely MIA on offense, man. One of the best, I mean, the best offense in the country, really struggling against this Tennessee defense here. Whitaker going to bounce out of the option play, nearly gets sandwiched by 2 defenders, but gets rid of the football in the nick of time, and that ball is going to be caught, I believe, by Smith again. And Tennessee's going to get a fresh set of downs and great field position. So on 1st and 10, Whitaker dropping back again here, throws this one over to the left side along the sidelines, and it's going to be caught again for another Tennessee first down, as Arnold Smith has really just been lighting us up in the secondary. So 1st and 10 now, Tennessee inching closer and closer to the goal line. It's going to be a handoff. That's going to be another fumble from Matt Johnson, the running back of Tennessee, who just for some reason cannot keep his hands on the football. But this time we're going to drop on top of it. So we get a huge break here on defense, even though we were down 20 points, man. Time for our offense to really step up and make something happen. And now Tim Lewis deep bomb downfield, and it's Jody Quinn completely wide open. I have no idea how he got behind the defense, but he did. A huge completion for sure. And on a 2nd and 4, Tim Lewis going to fake the pitch, flip this one out, and it's going to be picked off, heading the other way. Tennessee with another turnover of Tim Lewis, and that is Tim Lewis's 3rd turnover himself in this game, man. We cannot win this game if he's going to continue to play like this. We really need him to get out of whatever's going wrong with him. On a 2nd and 10 here, Whitaker, deep shot downfield, and it's caught inside the 40 of Alabama here. And it's Arnold Smith, I believe, once again with a huge reception. He's really been doing everything for Tennessee so far in this game. And with just a little over a minute left to go in the first half here, Tennessee's now set themselves up perfectly to get some more points here and further extend an already massive 20-point lead over the Crimson Tide here. So 1st and 10, under a minute. Whitaker, pressure is coming, but he gets rid of it quickly here, and Mark Blackwell gets his hands on the football. And Whitaker had to get rid of it quickly, perhaps maybe a little bit too quickly, as that pass was errant, and Mark Blackwell was able to get his hands underneath it and make a huge play for the Crimson Tide defense. So another bailout on defense from our defense that's trying to help our offense here. But Tim Lewis, man, just cannot seem to get out of his own way. So on a 2nd and 20, Lewis flips this one out towards the middle of the field, and it's Chad Whitaker who fumbles the football. But I believe it's Thomas Samples who gets on top of it. And just another mistake here, nearly another huge mistake. But fortunately, we were able to get the ball. But we're going to have to run the hurry up here on 3rd and 7 as time is ticking away here in the first half. Lewis takes a high snap, looks downfield, steps up in the pocket, unloads downfield, and that ball gets the hands of a Volunteer defender on it, and but it's ultimately going to fall incomplete. So with only 9 seconds left to go in the half, Tennessee would just take it into the locker room, and they would hold a 20-0 lead over your Crimson Tide, man. We are getting blown out here in Neyland, man. We gotta lock in. And Tim Lewis tries to flip this one out quickly, and that one was caught by Thomas Samples, and he had to get on his horse right there just to catch up with that ball. I don't know what kind of pass that was from Tim Lewis, man. He really just does not have it today. On 2nd and 4 here, Lewis going to fake the handoff, the play action Works perfectly to throw off Tennessee's defense. They had two guys off the edge completely unblocked, and fortunately they bit on that play fake just long enough for us to get the ball to Chad Whitaker to get a first down. So on 1st and 10 here, Tim Lewis going to drop back, looks over his options, flips this one down the middle of the field, and it's Sean Watts, the tight end, who's open enough to get a touchdown pass, and we're going to open up the second half scoring with a touchdown here. Our first points of the day. It took all day for us to finally answer back to Tennessee, who's been pretty much moving completely on their own up to this point, but Sean Watts able to get into the end zone. So 20-7 is your score. We have the ball once again as Tennessee's offense now struggling to move. Tim Lewis deep shot downfield, and that one's going to get caught by Chad Whitaker again. Chad Whitaker finally stepping up here. We didn't see a whole lot of Chad Whitaker, I feel, in the last video, man. We were really kind of making everything else work around the field with other receivers. But here he is, man. And on 1st and goal, we're going to hand this one off to Lamont Farrell, and he's going to stumble forward into the checkerboard end zone for another Crimson Tide touchdown. And folks, just like that, it's that easy. Just 2 drives, and we are now down 6. 3rd and 3 for Tennessee. They're going to go with an option play. Whitaker flips this one out to Johnson, and Johnson's got some open space here. He's going to shake off one and get away from Rick Sloan before finally being brought down, but not before making a huge gain on the ground to get across the 50-yard line. So huge pickup for Tennessee. Cut to a 3rd and 2 here. Whitaker going to hand this one off to Johnson again, and Johnson's going to get gobbled up in the line of scrimmage here, and he's going to be well short of the sticks. And that's Woods again, man. Woods making a nice play. Thomas Woods, the senior, making 2 pretty important plays here. And on 4th and inches, it's going to be another handoff to Johnson, and he's going to get it. But Woods doing it with the tackle again. Thomas Woods making the tackle, but Johnson is going to get the first down. So Tennessee's drive will continue after a risky 4th down call here in this game. So under just about a minute and a half left to go in the 3rd quarter, it's another run play to Johnson, who's got open space on the edge, spins away from Rick Sloan, and dude, I don't even know how you explain that one. Rick Sloan didn't even move after the spin move. Did you see that? His feet were planted firmly. He had no idea what to do with himself after that spin move. Take a look at this, man. Watch this thing again. This is just absolutely embarrassing off of that spin. Look at him. He's just, where'd he go? Where is he? I have no idea where he is. Just completely embarrassing. Tennessee extending the lead here to 13, up 27-14 now, and Tim Lewis needs to make something happen on offense. Deep shot downfield, and it is caught. I believe it's Jody Quinn who catches that one. Jody Quinn gets a lot of work in this game here. I think that's one of the few passes that he does get in this game. They're showing Scotty Mitchell, so it could have been Scotty Mitchell, but 3rd and 7 now for the Crimson Tide. Tim Lewis gobbled up in that pocket, gets rid of it, and that ball is deflected. Could have been intercepted. Very, very close to being intercepted, but fortunately just falls safely to the ground. So 4th and 7, Sick Name is going to keep the guys on the field because we need a boost on offense. Pressure's coming off of the edge, and Tim Lewis fires it downfield to Chad Whitaker. And that pass is batted down, and so it's going to be a turnover on downs. That would have been a humongous drive to get any kind of points on, but unfortunately we are going to come up empty-handed, and the 3rd quarter is going to come to a close. We are still down 13 points, folks, so we really need to get something going here in the 4th quarter. Tim Lewis here stands firm in the pocket, unloads a deep shot downfield, and that one's overthrown to Chad Whitaker. Tim Lewis never makes throws like that, man. I don't know what is happening, but he completely overthrew Chad Whitaker, and now that's Lambert's first interception of the day here, and Tennessee's going to get essentially an arm punt from Tim Lewis. Even though we're not in a position to arm punt, we absolutely needed some offense on that drive as Chad Whitaker just completely overthrown, man. It has to turn into DB, basically. So Tennessee doesn't do anything with it, so we get the ball again. And on 3rd and 1, Tim Lewis makes up for that last mistake, or, several, and finds Jody Quinn, who's off to the races, and no one's going to catch him. And that's another Crimson Tide touchdown. Courtesy of Jody Quinn. Another big play from Jody Quinn as well. I told you, he gets a lot of work in this game here, and here is another example of that work that he is getting. Huge play for our offense, man, and that's going to get us within 6 once again of the Volunteers. So Tennessee at this point could just run and kill clock, but on 3rd and 17, they're going to try and throw for it to basically win the game on offense if at all possible. And that pass is incomplete. I don't know if Mark Blackwell really got a hand on it, but Arnold Smith couldn't haul it in either way. So that Tennessee had to punt it to us. And now we have good field position because of how far Tennessee was pushed back. And Tim Lewis finds Jody Quinn across the middle for a humongous reception. And that's going to get us a first down here and continue as time is continuing to run here. So 1st and 10, just a little over a minute left to go. Tim Lewis fires this one, and it's picked off again. He's intercepted again. His 4th interception of the game. And just look at the pressure numbers, man. They are just all over Tim Lewis, and he cannot play under pressure, man. He's just struggling, man. So Tennessee still needs to get a first down to completely ice the ball game, and they give it off to Johnson. He's not going to get it. So with 50 seconds left to go, Tennessee, I mean, we still have our timeout, so we call a timeout, and with 50 seconds left, Tennessee's going to have to give us the football back, and it's not completely awful field position, but we still got a long ways to go. So on 1st and 10, Tim Lewis finds Scotty Mitchell, who fumbles the football after the reception, but Chad Whitaker is able to pick it up and advance it a few yards, so we do retain possession here. Another dangerous almost fumble here on the game. That would have been like 7 or 8 turnovers. So we're going to run the hurry up here, clock a stop to reset the chains here. 33 seconds, Tim Lewis going to fake it the spike. He's just going to throw for it, flips this one out, and I don't even know if I have that receiver written down, dude. Who are you? I believe that was, that's Eli Hoover, the senior who never really got onto the field, man. It's Eli Hoover who makes the catch and gets us inside the 10-yard. So on 1st and goal, Tim Lewis is going to lay the spike down. 24 seconds, man. All we need to do is just get like 6 yards into the end zone, or more like 8 or 9, and we got this, man. Tim Lewis drops back and throws it into a whole mess of coverage, and it's picked off. No, it's picked off again. No. Oh, no. Lambert picks off Tim Lewis for the 2nd time in this game. And that's it, folks. That's going to do it. We're going to lose. Oh, we're going to lose. The 22-game win streak is completely snapped. Sick Neyland's the longest win streak at the helm here at Alabama, completely snapped by Tennessee. Now, if you guys remember last year's games against Tennessee, both of them were very, very weird games. In that first game during the regular season, Tennessee completely ran up the score, and then we completely came back and ran up the score on them. And then in the SEC Championship, we only managed to beat Tennessee by a field goal. So this game might have been just a long time coming here. Tennessee might have just finally locked in, got things together, and it was able to put a roster together to win. But as you can see, we outgained Tennessee, man. We played better on offense. Just overall, we played better. Maybe not on 3rd down so much, but obviously, the tail of the tape here is the turnovers. 6 turnovers. Yeah, you're not going to win. And we fumbled the ball 4 times. We only lost 1 of those, but 4 fumbles. That's 10 total potential for turnovers. 6 guaranteed, or actually 5 guaranteed turnovers. But we had 10 in total that could have potentially happened, man. That is just completely unserious football, man. Completely unprotective with the football. So, and this is such a weird stat line for Tim Lewis, man. 21 for 36, 415 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 5 picks. I mean, Tim Lewis has made some mistakes before, man. He's been pretty interception prone. He's been pretty INT prone, unfortunately, but it's never been too detrimental to where it's like cost us games, and today was the first time it really cost us a game. So if we have another nightmare game down the road in the season, will we be able to overcome that? It's a big question. And we barely beat Mississippi State. Now heading back to the Hub World, we barely pick up a win at home against Mississippi State, who's routinely been bad every single year. We just barely beat them to get back in the win column, and that's going to put us against LSU in Death Valley next week, 8 versus 9. I mean, I thought this game was the biggest game. This one might be the biggest game. So season could potentially be over, man. But hope to see you guys in the next video when we play the LSU Tigers.